Hey kids, want to learn something cool? The HMS Agincourt holds the record for the most turrets and main guns put on a battleship, with a whopping 7 turrets and 14 main guns. Her story is rather interesting as she changed owners 3 times before she even left the shipyard. Originally commissioned by the Brazilian Navy in their arms race against Argentina and Chile, she was first named the Rio de Janeiro. At the time she was commissioned, she was the longest battleship at that point in history. She was laid down on the 14th of September 1911 at Newcastle and had an uneventful construction and was launched on the 22nd of January 1913. By now, the Brazilian government was running low on funds and so put her on sale in October the same year. The Ottomans, who were at war with Greece at the time, were desperate for another capital ship and therefore gathered extra funding, often through donations, to secure the Rio de Janeiro by December, renaming it the Sultan Osman. However, the July crisis was happening when she began her trials in 1914, and the developing situation led to the start of World War I. When the Ottoman crew arrived to pick up the ship, the British government illegally seized the Sultan Osman and another battleship due to be shipped. She would be renamed the HMS Agincourt and would earn the nickname the Gin Palace for her luxurious fittings as a result of Ottoman and Brazilian needs for crew comfort. However, such comfort would come at a cost of armor and watertight bulkheads necessary for her survival. This did not stop the British from servicing her. The start of World War I left the British Navy a few naval reservists left. This meant that they made her crew consist of high-ranking officers and minor criminals who had their sentences remitted and were received from various naval prisons and detention camps. There were a few more quirks about her other than her unique turrets and unusual layout. Traditional British naval turrets were named after letters, but Agincourt's 7 turrets were named after days of the week. Her design also went against British doctrine, as the British favored fewer guns of higher caliber. That did not stop her from being present at the decisive Battle of Jutland, where the German High Fleet and British Royal Navy faced off against one another. It would be her only notable battle, however, as the Agincourt would be sold for scrap in 1922 as a result of less naval funding by the British Empire.